Our second video in this series on why cheaters never win is on gaming the system. So let's look at that. How are some ways that people game the system? Well, the first way, and one of the unique ways to tops that people game the system, is they submit blank work so that they can get attendance credit. Then they come back and act like there was some big mistake. We call this frosting, just because we have our own little names for things. And what happens is a student will start getting in trouble for their attendance, like they missed 3 assignments one week and 2 the next, and all of a sudden, they've got quite a few absences in a class and they're getting in trouble at home. And so what they figure out very quickly is their teacher isn't usually grading things until later in the week. So they know their teacher submits attendance by Tuesday morning and that they don't start grading usually until Wednesday. So what they do is they submit a bunch of blank assignments. So when the teacher does a quick check, it looks like they submitted everything, so they get perfect attendance. And then when the teacher starts grading things, they're like, hey, what happened here? This assignment was totally blank. Why did you, what happened? And then the student acts like, oh, I don't know, my computer must have messed up. Hey, here's the real files. And so they bought themselves a couple of extra days so they could get the work finished. But the bad part about this is you could get away with that once, but when it happens twice, then we're very suspicious and know what's going on. Actually, usually the first time we know what's going on and try to put a stop to it. So that's one way, and that's treated just like any other cheating. The next way is in math, using programs like Mathways, Wolfram Alpha to get the right answer. This is why your math teachers always want you to show your work. But the problem is that Mathways and Wolfram Alpha will also show you how to do your work in a way. And it's usually not the way your teacher taught it to you. And so it's very obvious to your teacher that you didn't come up with this way of doing the work. And especially when 4 or 5 students are also submitting the same kind of answers in math exactly the same way, then it's pretty obvious that you use Mathway or Wolfram Alpha. Again, we haven't had a big problem with this until this year, but this will also be treated, just like any other cheating. And finally, in foreign language, and I used to teach foreign language, so this one's near and dear to my heart, when people use Google Translate to do like their Spanish work or French work or German work. And what always happens is that, as a teacher, you know exactly what vocabulary you've taught your students. And so when they start using a bunch of complex verb phrases and vocabulary that they haven't had before, and it looks like more so than they just looked it up in a dictionary, which is fine. And you can even use translators like a dictionary for one-word things. But what we really know as foreign language teachers, like if you're in your first year and you're using past tense or you're using like a complex verb tense like conditional past or whatever, then we know that you've just used a translator and didn't apply your own knowledge. So these are ways that people game the system, and I'm sure there will be other ways, but these are 3 that we see a lot. Next time we're going to talk about the real consequences of cheating. Again, all of these ways are treated just like any other plagiarism, and the same consequences apply at school. 0 on the assignment and an email sent home. Second offense, 0 on the assignment and a parent-teacher conference. And then third time, then you're asked to leave. So don't cheat. Just do the work. Do it right. Don't game the system because we catch it very quickly.